Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Kyle's Digital Lab. And in this series of videos we are going to be overhauling and looking at a bunch of 3/4 inch U-matic video cassette recorders. And first off, we're going to be starting off with the Sony BVU-950. This is a broadcast grade 3/4 inch U-matic SP video cassette recorder from the late 80s. This one was made in 1990, but these were in production from the late 80s. And so, let's just get started. So basically, I managed to get a bunch of U-matic decks recently. Basically, when you're watching this, it would have been early October. I'm not sure when this video is actually going to go live, but this was back in early October, the first weekend of October. I drove out to Pennsylvania, and there was a guy that had a bunch of these decks. Basically just had them, I guess, in storage, and they basically just didn't really have any use to him. But he did have some tapes, and basically he had a kind of a thing where he was kind of basically giving these away. But basically the catch was that he wanted a working 3/4 inch U-matic deck. So basically he had about 9 of these decks, plus a Betacam SP deck. But I was mostly interested, of course, in these U-matic decks. And basically, he was almost about to throw these into the garbage, e-waste them, and he was basically giving them away, but he wanted to have a working 3/4 inch deck. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, you might have seen where I actually had a VO7600 that I restored. It had a fault on it that I managed to fix, and I posted a video about that. So basically, I had that deck, and it was a very low hours, clean deck, and I decided that I would give that to him. And so we worked it out where I drove out there, I gave him the deck, and it was about a 9-hour drive to where he was. He was out in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Got up at like 6 a.m., drove the entire way out there, then managed to meet him later that day. I gave him the deck, and then he gave me all of these decks, so we just loaded up into our van. And then the next day, after we got these decks, the next day we went to the Animate Philadelphia Comic-Con. I got to meet the voice actors of Cosmo and Wanda, and I'll just put a picture up on the screen so you see what I'm talking about. I also got to meet Butch Hartman. He also drew me a picture, so that was pretty cool. That was a very fun weekend, and I also got a bunch of U-matic decks, and pretty much all of them are actually SP decks. All of them are SP decks, except for about 3 of them. There's 2 BVU-800s, and there's also a VO-5600. Those are just standard low-band NTSC decks. And I also got a Betacam SP deck, a kind of a sub, I guess it's a PVW-2800. But we'll take a look at those in a series of videos. But first of all, I wanted to cover the BVU-950, since this is the deck that I was the most interested in getting. So this is a BVU-950. These were considered to be the ultimate U-matic decks for archiving, because these were the last ones that were ever made, and these were the best quality. The BVU series, it stood for Broadcast Video U-matic, and I'll go more into detail about what the BVU series was, but it's more of a video for when I look at a much older deck. I'll explain the history behind U-matic and how it became used in the broadcast industry. But in this video, we're just going to be taking a look at this deck and seeing if it actually works, because I actually haven't powered it on yet. I actually don't know really what this deck's condition is. These were given to me basically untested. I was told they had good video heads. But they might have loading issues or lubrication issues, which we'll take a look at and see if I can fix that, which I should probably be able to get that. And then a few of these decks I'm going to keep, of course, for my archiving business. And then a few of them I'm going to resell and try to make back the money for the trip. It was about $600 to get out there, like with gas. I stayed a night at a hotel. There was food and everything like that. It was about a 2-day trip. I thought it was going to be a 3-day trip, but it ended up being a 2-day trip, and it was really, really great. It was a really great weekend, and got to do a lot of stuff. So yeah, so this is the deck, and yeah. So this is the deck. Like I said, it's a BVU-950. This was considered to be one of the best U-matic decks for archiving because it is an SP deck, and it also has all the features of the BVU series, like time code. This one also has a built-in time-based corrector, which we'll take a look at. It's got all the optional features that they offered with this deck. The only thing that it's missing is actually a special chrominance noise reducer module. I noticed that's missing, but that was very rare anyway, so not a big issue that it's missing. But I've taken a look at this already, like an internal look. I haven't powered it on, but I've taken an internal look at it. And just looked at all the boards and everything. There's nothing majorly wrong with it, like missing boards or missing parts. The only thing that really could be wrong with it, I think at this point, is that the head drum could be worn, or it could be it could be damaged. But you really can't judge that unless you actually power this thing on and put a tape in, and then play it and like measure the RF coming off the heads. But I'll just show you this deck here. So this actually comes out like this, which is really cool. And you've got some extra, not many, but you got some extra features down here. I can't really look at them, but they're I believe they're for time code. And I would show you the back of this deck, but I can't because I'm so crowded in here. I'm so crowded in here that I really can't. Hold on, but I really can't show you the inputs. But you've got basically your video output, video input. You've got a few connectors for the time-based corrector, the remote. You've got, of course, like some remote control functions for like wired remote controls, editing stuff. And there's also like dub input, dub output, which I'll talk more about in a later video. But yeah, this is basically the best U-matic deck that was ever made. And these actually go for a lot of money. These go for a lot of money nowadays. Like these could go easily for a few $1,000s. And just because U-matic the format has gotten so so rare that you know, these decks go for a lot of money. So it was really a great opportunity to be able to get 9 of these decks for pretty much, you know, maybe a few $100s. You know, I didn't really pay him anything. I just gave him a working deck. But I, of course, had to spend the money to get out there and you know, everything like that. But this was definitely a good haul, and it was definitely a good haul. This deck is in very good condition. It's even got the top cover, which I've noticed that a lot of these decks have. And if I actually put this towel up, and we look down here, I've got another one. This deck is in much worse condition. It's basically a parts deck at this point. It's very dirty. It was stored out in a storage shed, in not a storage shed, but a storage unit in Indiana for like many years, and it is really dirty inside. But it does have all the boards, so it is a useful parts deck. So if we do run into a problem, I know actually it does have good heads. But if we do run into problems with this deck, I'm pretty sure I can get this deck up and running even if it has bad heads, because I could probably swap the entire motor assembly. I'll talk more about the heads in a moment, but yeah, this is just a really professional deck. It's just really well made, and one of the best features of the BVU series that these had direct drive motors, so they only use 2 belts in them. And the only feature that this thing really lacks is the dynamic tracking, which was a feature that will allow you to get like smooth fast forward and rewinding when you're doing a I don't know, when you're doing a like fast forward and rewinding and like still frame. It allowed you to get better just better results when you're doing that. So you have less of the artifacts you get with helical scan video. That was on the 920. There was the 920, which was just a player, but it had dynamic tracking. But when they went to the 950, they didn't have dynamic tracking in there. So I've kind of went for a little bit. I guess maybe I haven't been really talking for that long, but I think I've talked about everything I wanted to say. So we're going to take a look at the inside of this machine, and then I am going to try to power it up, and we'll see if this thing actually accepts the tape and if this thing actually works. Alright, so I've removed the top cover from the machine. As you can see, there is this board in the way, but this just swings up to reveal the entire mechanism. And as you can see, it's very clean inside. Here's the head drum. It's a DUR 43, and you've got basically your loading belt down there, and then over here is your cassette carriage, but there's a belt for there. But those are the only 2 belts in this mechanism. So and then here are the boards. This board right here that swings up, this is the modulator board, and what this does is that when you're making a recording, this does all the processing for recording, basically the FM modulation for recording. And it's a swing up board, which I don't really like, because it makes it very hard to work on. If you have to replace this board, you have to unplug a bunch of cables and stuff, and that's kind of a pain to do. The earlier BVU-800 had the boards all as cards, and what I'm talking about is right here. You can see these cards. So this card right here, you can actually pull this up, and this entire board comes right out like that. And this is the servo board. So you've got a bunch of chips on here. This is like a digital servo board for regulating the tape speed. That's what servo does. And it basically just slots in like this. I can just get this with one hand. Goes in like this, and this is your main servo board. And it just slots in and plugs in like a card. It basically is a card. And then right here you've got your demodulator board. This is for playback. This does all your FM demodulation and signal processing when you're playing back the tape. And then you have one more board, and this is actually an optional board. This is the optional time-based corrector board. This is the TBC board, and this is not found on all U-matic decks, but at least with the two that I got, the two of the decks that I had, they came with this board installed. This is basically a time-based corrector board. It basically corrects any errors that are coming off the tape, like time-based jitter, stuff like that. And this board is definitely valuable, so we'll keep it in, and yeah. And if you do find one of these decks and it does not have that board, it just means that it just doesn't have the optional time-based corrector. That board is not required to operate, but it is, well, it is recommended to have that in if you want to get the best quality. And then these boards right here are basically, I believe they are just audio boards. So I just look at them here. This is the AU84 board. I think these are just audio and time code, I think. But yeah. So the main part, of course, is this mechanism here, and I'm seeing if I can get a better look into that. But this is your, this is where your cassette loader is, the cassette elevator, and then you have your deck here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put power to this thing, and we're going to see if this actually turns on. Now, I expect it's probably going to turn on unless we have a dead power supply, which could be, it is a possibility, but unlikely that we'd have a bad power supply. So I'm going to plug this thing in and see if this actually works. My monitor is all the way over there, so I'm wondering if I should, how I'm going to do this, but let's just get power to this thing, and yeah, let me just move the camera. Well, here is the moment of truth. I've got the, I've gotten the monitor hooked up, I've got everything hooked up, and power hooked up, everything like that. And we're going to see if this thing actually turns on. So, without further ado, and there it goes. It came to life. No error codes, which is not really, I guess that's to be expected, because there's nothing missing from this board. But, yeah. If I look on the monitor, I don't see anything, which is to be expected. But what I'm going to do now is I am going to put a tape in here and see if it actually loads it up. So I'm going to move the camera, and actually my battery is dying, so I'm going to have to stop recording for a minute and just charge up the battery really quickly. So unfortunately I'm going to have to turn off the camera and just charge the battery. But I will put in a tape and we will see what it does. Okay, so here is the moment of truth. Well, I've said it before, it's again, but I have here a 3/4 inch tape. This is a brand new 3M tape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to load it into this machine, and we're going to see if it manages to load it without any issues. Now, there is nothing recorded on this tape, so I'm not expecting to see anything on the monitor. And I'm just doing this in case it wants to eat the tape or it gets stuck in there. If this tape gets destroyed, you know, it won't be a big issue. But I am going to put in a tape that does have some pre-recorded material on there. So I'm going to turn this thing on, and here we go. Okay. Is that thing plugged in? Okay, so the cassette carriage is plugged in. Okay. I think the reason why was the cassette carriage was not fully ejected. There's sensors on here. Oh! Okay, we have an error 20, error 01. And what is this? It looks like, let me just power cycle this thing. So yeah, this thing is not wanting to load, which I kind of, I guess, expected, but let me see. Oh, here's the guide. Is the, let's see, I'm trying to figure this out. So it looks like I guess the belt is bad. Let's see, if I manually thread this up, I'm moving the belt, and you can see the tape is coming out. Maybe I shouldn't do this, but let me turn it on again. I think the belt is weak. Yeah, that is supposed to be turning. If you look at that right there, let me zoom in. This is the belt that, fuck. Sorry. But, This is the belt that drives this gear. This is the belt, and you can see if I move that, this moves in like that. This belt, I think, is not having enough torque. I'm wondering if I can even get the tape out now. Let me see if I can get the tape out. I don't think I can even get the tape out. I think that belt needs to be replaced. It could be the cassette carriage too. That also has a belt. But when I see this thing turn on, it's trying to turn, but it just can't. There's not enough torque. So I'm definitely going to have to replace that belt. Yeah, there's just not enough torque for this guide right here to just put the tape out and thread it up. There's just not enough torque. So I'm going to have to replace that belt. Let me just see if I can get the tape out. Okay, I got the tape out. I think the cassette carriage belt is fine. I'm still going to replace it though, but yeah, it's just not loading. It tries and then it just throws up an error code. Error 20, and then it throws up an error 20, then error 1. Well, now it's stuck on error 20. So this belt needs to be replaced. But what happens if I load this up manually and just see if I can do this manually, because I don't have the belt with me right now. I've got to order them. But if I load this up manually, will this play? Of course, I have to manually, manually rotate the thing. But if I do that, you can see that this thing, is in the process of loading. It is loading. And what I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to replace the belt. I'm not going to waste my time. That was pretty good. It ejected, but it just didn't. It's just not getting enough torque. Should probably not do that, but. Okay. Yeah, it just doesn't want to load. So it looks like I am going to have to replace the belts on this. There's really not much I can really do right now. So, yeah. Okay, I'm just repeating myself at this point. I am just going to stop recording right now and just wait until I have the belt, which is probably going to be about a week. So it's going to be like a week jump, and then you're going to see the new. It's going to just jump cut, and then you're going to see me with the belts in a week or so. So. Yeah, so that was a little bit, I guess, anticlimactic. It is trying to load, but I don't think the belt is working. It just looks like the belt is not powerful enough. So, yeah. Alright, so the magic of editing, it's been about maybe a week and a half, and I finally have the belts. These cost me about $35 each. They came from, as you can see there, Zin VTR Works. They're in California, and they hooked me up with a few belt kits. These are, of course, kind of expensive, but I didn't want to deal with the hassle of just trying to find the correct belts. And these are pretty good quality, I think, so shouldn't be a problem. And so I've also set the aperture of the camera, because I noticed that before the camera was kind of focusing in and out. There was the shallow focus. I changed the aperture so it's at f16, so hopefully that gets rid of it. And also, you can't really see there's not a lot of light going into there, but I'm going to start by replacing the loading belt. Let me see if I can turn on this light and illuminate the where I'm trying to work, because it's kind of dark in there, and the closed aperture doesn't really help. Of course, this thing doesn't want to turn on. I gotta figure out why. Yeah, because the cable has come undone. All right, so that should be better. So I'm going to start by replacing the loading belt, which is right there. I don't know if the focus is going to get messed up. Doesn't look like it, so I'm just going to go and start by removing this screw. And hopefully I don't lose any, but I have a magnetized screwdriver, so should be fine. That's nice. Set that aside. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the alignment, but I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the alignment with the LED. I'm going to remove this screw. Well, and hopefully you can see me. Probably just going to lift that out. And get this screw too. And then this should come out. This whole mechanism, not mechanism, but whole assembly should come out. Let me just make sure you're seeing that. Yeah, I think you are. Hopefully the focus is good. Like, obviously can't look at my monitor while I'm doing this, but alright, that actually comes out. Let me just grab the screws so I don't lose them, because they are loose. How come this doesn't want to... It's getting stuck on something. Hold on. What is this getting caught up on? Let me take one of the boards out and see if that helps with it a little bit. Take the servo board out and see if that helps anything. Looks like I can lift it up through here. Yeah, that seems like it's going to help a little bit. Yeah, there's this... I got to unscrew. I think I got to take another screw out. Just like grab... I don't have my hemostats, but let me see if I can grab these screws so they don't get lost. So the last thing I want is one of these screws to go right into the machine. That would not be fun. I need to get a magnetized screwdriver. Of course, this doesn't want to get up. It's very nice. Does not want to come out. Yeah, VTRs are kind of a pain in the ass to work on, as you can clearly see. This is probably the hardest belt to get to in any U-matic deck, any of the top loaders. Not the top loaders, the front loaders. It is pretty hard to get to. I just fucking dropped the screw in the machine. That's fucking great. I'm obviously sorry I just swore there, but I just dropped the screw in the machine. Oh, luckily I just found it. I found it. See if I can get that out. Come on. The screwdriver's not magnetized. Luckily, I don't think it's going to get lost. I just need to figure out a way to get it. Let me try to find a pair of hemostats, and I'll try to do it. I'll show you where the screw is if I can get this to work. It's down there somewhere. Okay, I got that screw out. That is out safely now. Let me just figure out where I put my where did I put my screwdriver? Right here. I don't think you're getting a good angle on this, but I really can't give you the best angle unless I have an overhead camera mount, which I don't have. So you're just going to have to do this. I'm just trying to get the screws out. Obviously, this is not going to be a tutorial. I'll link to, there is a good tutorial. There's a good tutorial by VVU-950 in the UK where he works on these decks. So I'll link that, and you can look that up if you want to see it. Oh, God, I just dropped it in the machine again. This time it's easy. It's just that you can't really expect... Good thing I masked this area off with masking tape so the screw wouldn't go in there, which is good. But it's definitely a pain in the ass. Okay. Shit. Doing this on camera also kind of makes it a lot more stressful. I'm going to grab that out, and there, I got the other screw out. That's good. What a pain that is. That is truly a pain in the ass. Let me, I The threading ring is kind of messed up right now. I gotta, okay, there we go. So now I should be able to take this out. There we go. Now I can work on this. Let me see if I can change the camera angle. Obviously, I'm not going to get a good shot of this, unfortunately. Can you see that? I don't think you can see that. But what you do, you take off a, let me see, hold on. Don't have to deal with any screws getting lost now. Should probably make sure this doesn't damage the heads. How does this even go through? What's getting stuck on here? There's obviously these wires, I think, that are going to the mechanism. Let me see if I can. What you have to do is you have to remove a special washer, which I got to do right now. All right, got a flat tip screwdriver. Just got to remove this one piece, which I don't know why this doesn't. I can't set this. Can't get this to sit where I want it to sit, which is on the. There we go. That's a little better. I can remove this and move this washer. I think this comes out. Oh, well, that's not good. I just broke it. Let's see if there's a way I can. That's not good. That's what holds this washer on. I think it's brittle. I don't know how this comes out. I think it just comes out like oh, that just shot out. But luckily I have that too, so that's fine. Now this comes out. This gear comes out. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean off the lubricant off of it. I'm going to take some isopropyl alcohol and just take a... Do I have a toothbrush? Let me see if I have a toothbrush. I'm just going to clean off some of this gunk that's on here. Some alcohol. Because it is... I think it's starting to get like a little bit seized up. It'd be nice if I had a toothbrush, but I don't think I do. I'll just use a paper towel and see if that's good enough. Yeah, the grease I think is starting to become kind of gunky on this gear. This gear is very important. Looks pretty good, I think. And now I can start working on, I got to remove one more screw, unfortunately, which is this screw right here, which shouldn't be that much of an issue. It should be pretty easy to get to it. I think I got to use a smaller screwdriver. Let me see if I can have my screwdriver over here. Mute my computer. Get out a much smaller screwdriver. Obviously, I don't have any room to put anything in here. And get this one screw out. Yep, that comes out just fine. And now this, don't know what that was, but now this thing should come out. Okay, now I should be able to remove this worm gear, which I think what's holding it on? Something holding it on. Is it the belt? I think it's the belt. I gotta get it off the thing, which I should be able to do with a little tiny screwdriver. use this, and I'll get the belt off the motor. There we go. I think now we can lift the thing up. I think. I forget. It should be coming up. There we go. Just gotta fish the belt out of the motor. There should be one more. There we go. There we go. And I just sweated into the machine. That's great. Not a big issue though, but still sweating under these lights. Okay, so we have the belt out. Let me just pause for a minute. Well, that was frustrating as hell. I'm not sure if I did this correctly, but there's these washers on the rail of the worm gear, and they just get they're such a pain to work with. I hate it so much. I mean, this is the worst. I don't know if they could have designed this any more challenging than it already is. I guess that's where the washers are supposed to go. I guess. I don't think it really matters if you even have the washers on there. I don't even know. These washers on this metal shaft. I don't know what they do and why they're there, but they're probably there for a reason, of course. Now I think I can put this in here. I can put this down in here and install this piece, which I'm gonna put some lubricant on it. I guess I might as well do that. I just don't know where I put my lubricant. Of course, I'm never organized. I am never organized. Let me just put one of the screws on right now. It's such a pain to do. I can't believe they made this a thing. Do I have that piece? Yes, I do. Thank God. So I just got to put this metal shaft in place. There's no way to do this. I don't know why Sony designed this. This video is just going to be me ranting about how Sony made this design so horrible. Why did they do this? Why did they make it like this? Engineers, I'm like, go to Sony and be like, what the hell? Did they just drop that in the machine? It's a big metal piece, so I don't think it would be that bad if it went anywhere. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is, right there. Let me just pause, because this is getting very frustrating by the minute. Well, so I got the belt on, and I also got some lubricant on the gears, and I didn't film that, of course. I honestly think that I'm probably not going to film a lot of this belt replacing procedure, or if I edit it, it's probably not going to show a lot of it, because it's just a pain. It's a massive pain, and even filming it is even worse, because it just makes it a lot more stressful. I still got to put in the screws for this. But it's just a pain. It's such a pain. I don't know why it's designed like this. It's like torture. It's like the worst design they could have ever done in a U-matic machine. And like you can't get, there's like hardly any room to put screws in. You have to like put the screws in and make sure they don't fall into the machine and get lost. And then you gotta, you know, it's just a pain. They could have made it a lot easier. I know they could have made it a lot easier, but they just didn't. Obviously, I'm not an engineer that designed this, but you know this thing. But it's like it's like that Onion video. Sony designs new stupid piece of crap that doesn't do the thing it's supposed to. It just let me just take this out. I don't think I should have this in, but take this board out. It's just garbage. I mean, it's not garbage. I mean, it's a good machine. It's built pretty nice, but it's just that, you know, they just you know, after you work on one of these machines, and I've worked on a few of these, but they're just such awful. And you know, it's supposed to be, you know, U-matic. It's supposed to be very, you know, user friendly or whatever they designed it to be. And it's just not. So I'm gonna put these screws in. I'm not even gonna record because I know I'm gonna mess up. Well, I think after much cursing and just messing around with this thing, I think I've got everything ready to basically start playing a tape. So I've got everything reassembled, I think. And I'm going to take the tape that I had before, and I'm going to put it in, and we're going to see if this thing actually threads up. Or if it doesn't. My guess is that it's not going to thread up even though I replaced the belt. It's going to do something awful, I bet. I haven't replaced... Okay. Oh! Oh! It works! Alright, let's see if it plays. Oh, error 3. Error 3. Does it fast forward? Does it eject? Okay, so it ejects. I think, okay. It's, why is it not playing? Why is it giving me an error 3? Actually, let me try playing. There's nothing on this tape. Oh, now it's playing, I think. Is it playing? Now it's fast forwarding. And this is a jog shuttle. It seems to be working. But I haven't connected the monitor up. Okay. Okay, it gave me an error 1, but I think that's normal since it got to the end of the tape. Where the clear leader is, I think. Or not clear, it's a... I don't think it uses... Yeah, it does. I think it uses optical sensors for the tape end. I hit play. That seems to work. It's spinning. If I go to fast forward, it works just fine. And if I do rewind, it goes to an error 1. But if let me just see if is that just the end of the tape? I think that's the end of the tape. Like the start of the tape. Let me just try fast forwarding it to the, But I think, yeah, the belt, it worked. It changed. It fixed everything. And also putting lubricant on that gear right there. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be wanting to fast forward. But I don't think there's an issue with the threading belt. Let me see. It's in fast forward mode, so it should start fast forwarding. Yep. Fast forwarding. Maybe it just needs to like exercise. But the real moment of truth is actually when I put in a tape that actually has content on it, and we actually play the material on the thing. Now I don't have any headphones hooked up to this or audio hooked up to it, but I do have my monitor hooked up to it. So I guess I'll point the camera at the monitor and I'll put in a tape that actually has some content on it. I just got to find a tape that I have because I don't have many tapes. Okay. I don't know why it unthreads when you turn it on. Well, it should keep itself threaded up. But let me just see if it will rewind now. I've fast forwarded it, and like I said, there's nothing on this tape. Okay, so this will be fast forwarding. And it hasn't thrown up an error code yet. I think it's getting to the very end. When it gets to the very end, or the very beginning, it actually throws up an error code. It's fast forward, it's rewinding just fine, but when it gets to the end, I think it throws up an error code, which I don't think is normal, but not really a big issue. Could be an issue with the optical sensor since I removed one of them. And, okay, so it got to the beginning, it did not throw up an error code. So, okay. Well, I think we've seen enough. I think it's time to actually put in a tape and actually see something on the screen. So let me just take this tape out. That's good. I think that's great. But now the moment of truth, the real moment of truth, which isn't just the mechanism. We've got to make sure the thing is good. So I'm going to turn on my monitor. I'm going to find a tape that actually has some content on it, and we're going to see if it works. Okay, so I have my monitor on. It's a Sony PVM, and I got this tape. This is a tape that came from an NBC studio in NBC station in Baltimore. I got this on eBay. I'm not sure really the history behind it. I guess it's just reporting. It's actually on the, if you look at it, it's the small format cassette. This would go in the portables for field recording. And I'm going to put this in now, and this is actually a small cassette, like I said, so I'm wondering if it will actually load. I think it will. But, yeah, it will. I'm wondering if the mechanism would be a little bit finicky with a small tape. But I'm going to put it in, and we're going to see if we actually get a picture on the screen. Here we go. I didn't actually clean the heads, so I might have to clean the heads. Okay, it did not... Oh, error 4. What the hell? Why did it not thread up all the way? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, I think, what the hell? It's not loading that tape. It does not want to load that tape. That is interesting. I can't really bring the camera over here, but if I put this tape in, it just kind of just, oh, there it goes. Okay. And do we have a picture? Oh! We have a picture. Oh, it's kind of a... Okay. It's kind of jumpy. It's kind of very jumpy. Could just... I don't know. Let's see. Play it. Yeah, it's very, very jumpy. And now, is this the black portion of the tape, or is this... Okay. Pretty sure I can show this, but it looks like... I don't know, it looks like, is this dirty heads? Let me see if flipping any of the switches on the machine does anything. This could be over the main TVC, like the, it could be because of the TVC, I'm not sure. But it is playing. Just very, as you can see, it's got a bunch of noise in the middle. That's interesting. It's jumping all over the place. Let me try cleaning the heads, although I don't think that's going to fix this. It shouldn't be doing that. Maybe it is the TVC. Let me try turning the TVC off. I'm going to take the TVC physically out of the machine and then try turning it on. See if that gets it to work. Maybe it is the TVC has bad capacitors or something. Does it work? Okay, so we still have a very bad video. Could it be the misalignment of the heads? I mean, like, the tape guides? I'll have to see. I'll have to make a post and see. So it's not the TVC, so I can put the TVC back in. I'll just turn the machine off. Actually, I don't think I need to really turn it off before I put the board in, but I guess it's better for, I don't know. But this is, yeah, this is tape. Let me just try cleaning the heads. That's what I'm going to try doing. Let me see if I can get this working. Well, I found who wins the Idiot of the Day award. Let me just get this to play again. So we have our, quote, bad video, but watch this. It was just the tracking control. It was just the tracking control. That's all that was wrong with it. sometimes, you know, the simple fixes just go under your nose. And it wasn't until I asked my friend what was going on, and he said, well, could be that. So, yeah, this is with the time-based tractor, I think, installed. Just trying to see. Looks like it's playing back pretty good. I'm trying to see if any of these controls on the thing do anything. On the back do anything. I don't think they do. But let me see if I can get the menu to pop up. If I get the menu to pop up. I don't know if I can get the menu to pop up. There's like an on-screen menu for these, but I don't know how you get to it. But I think that is I think that's a repaired machine. But I actually do have to get to the loading belt, so let me do that. I will eject this tape. But as you can see, it is playing perfectly. There's no head issues. There's nothing. And even if all the other machines are trash, I mean, this is a BVU-950. This is the best deck you can possibly get. And it's playing just perfectly. So, yeah. I'm going to try replacing that belt, and then I guess I'll end the video, because I'll try making recording, but if there's an issue with recording, I'll probably cover that in another video, because I think this video has gone on for too long, and at least at the end result we have a working machine. The only thing I'm really going to complain about is that there's a piece of electrical tape in the machine. I could probably get it out, but I'm just going to say it's just electrical tape. It can't do any damage. It's not like a screw or metal pieces in there. It's just a piece of electrical tape. I'm going to say, whatever, I'll get it some other day. But this is a fixed U-matic machine. That's nice, and it's got good heads. So that's great. Let me just hook up my headphones and see if I can get audio. I have a pair of headphones here. I'm going to plug them in, and I'm going to see if I have audio. I could take an XLR cable, I guess, if I have one, and feed it into the audio input of the camera, but I'll just do this. Let's see if the audio is any good. I don't hear anything on the audio. Huh. I don't hear anything on the audio. Okay. It's very quiet. I can hear audio, but it's very quiet. I have all the. There we go. Okay, let me just put this. Can you hear that? Not very loud since it's headphones, but.
Finally, the Montgomery County Cave-In unit was called in, as well as a crew from Johns Hopkins. And 4.5 hours after the building collapsed, Russell Coleman was free.
I don't know what the story is about when it happened, but I guess it's about a building collapse or something. Pretty interesting that I have this on tape. Be nice if I can find more content on U-matic, because I do like U-matic as a format. But yep, the audio is good. I haven't checked the XLR outputs, but they should be fine. I did notice one of them is a little bent, but shouldn't be a big issue. And if it is broken, it should be just a simple matter of bending it back or just replacing the connector. But let's get to the loading belt. Okay, to get to the time-based, not the time-based tractor, but the belt, we just have to get a screwdriver out. Let me get my screwdriver set. Probably shouldn't be setting stuff on top of this board, but it is a plastic thing, so it's not going to conduct and break anything. It'd be nice if there was an insulating sheet or something on top of that, but there's not. So these two screws just come out, and this is kind of like the metal bar that holds the cassette carriage in. And I did have one of my parts BVU-950 when I was working on that before I condemned it to be a parts unit. I actually found out that the one of the wires was getting one of the wires was shorting to the chassis and causing sparks. Not good. But I just fixed that. I guess you could just use electrical tape or just replace the wires. It is a problem where the wires do go bad in these things and the cassette carriage, but that doesn't seem to be the case in this one. So this just comes out like this. And I really don't need to replace the cassette carriage. I mean the cassette belt. But just cut myself. But this is where the belt is. As you can see, it's right there, and I can just remove it and put on a new put on a new belt. I mean, this belt is fine, I think, because the machine is playing just fine. But I paid for a extra loading belt, so I might as well just do it as preventative maintenance. As you can see under there, those are the direct drive reel motors, which what makes this thing, I guess, very nice is that you have direct drive motors and no idlers and no belts. There's only 2 belts in this machine. Unfortunately, one of them is a pain in the ass to replace, as you just saw me do. And I just almost dropped screws in the machine and lost a bunch of pieces, but now I can take this belt and put it on here. And again, if you do want to learn how to replace the belts on here, I would recommend watching the video99.co.uk's video on the BVU. He didn't do a BVU-950, but he did the VO9800, which is very similar to this model. It is a pain in the ass, so if you're going to do it, be prepared that it's going to suck your soul. But if I can just get this belt on here, and yeah, this is a lot easier to do. A lot easier. Did I do that? Yep. Nice and good. Look at how easy that was. And now I don't have to deal with anything else. Now the only thing left to do is just to make a recording on this and see if the recording is good. I guess I can make a color bar recording. I'm not really going to use this for recording, so even if the recording circuit is shot, I mean, it's a good playback deck, but obviously I want an archive machine for recording, I guess. It'd be nice if I could record. I think the only reason why you'd really want to record on these, I don't know. I think the only reason why you'd want to record is just to test it. I don't see anybody recording to 3/4 inch. I mean, I could see somebody using a portable deck like a BVU-150, and I have a BVU-150, which I got for free, like this deck, kind of. Let me just see if this lines up. Does this line up with that? But yeah, this is basically a repaired machine, and I could go ahead and sell this for probably a few $1,000s. I could try to make a recording, but I don't think I'm going to do that on camera. I'm just going to turn the camera off, and I think I'm going to be done with this video, but maybe. I don't know. Just get this screw back in. And, what the fuck? Where's my other screw? Yeah, I've sworn a lot on this video. Yeah, so I guess don't have your kids watch a video of somebody repairing a U-matic if you don't want them to hear naughty, naughty words. Because this thing is it's a piece of work. It's a piece of work to replace that loading belt. But it is a good machine, other than that. So that belt is on. And, let's see how it works. And I should have a working machine now. I guess I'll try turning this on. And see if it doesn't work any better with the cassette. I'll just let you watch the cassette mechanism in here. There you go. Yeah, it doesn't really change the operation when you replace the belt if it's already good, but you know. And for some reason it stops here. It like stops. It doesn't automatically play. You actually have to hit the play button. And of course a perfect picture on the screen. And one last thing I'm going to do is the same fix that I showed you on my VO7600 about a year ago, which is the machine oil on the shaft. Which I can't really show you, but if you watch my VO7600 video, the shaft you'll see. We'll just get some drops of machine oil on that. And should be good. I'm going to have to wash my hands after this. I got such... I hate it when you get the machine oil on your hands, but put it on there. Put a drop on there. Okay. I think that's good. I think it doesn't... I don't think it needed to be lubricated. I mean, it wasn't stuck, but always good to do preventative maintenance. And, well, I guess I could take make a recording on this and do it. But I don't think there's really anything left to cover. I've replaced the belt and lubricated it, and I could obviously the professionals would probably tear this thing apart and do new oil and everything on all the motors and everything. But I mean, this thing is producing perfectly fine video, and as long as the record circuit works, which I haven't tested really yet. I guess I'll do that right now. So I'll just make a recording and I'll put color bars onto it and I'll see if it makes a recording. So, yeah. Well, fortunately, I have some bad news. I recorded about a minute of color bars onto the tape, and I could see this when I was making the recording, so I'll show you this, but I'll play this. As you can see, it's not very happy when it's playing back a recording. This is how it recorded it onto the tape. That's supposed to be color bars, and there's not even any color. Of course, the tracking, I don't know if the tracking does anything. Tracking doesn't really do anything. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like an electronic fault with the machine, which I'll have to, obviously I have the service manual, so I can look through that and see what exactly is going on. Maybe it's just, I don't know, some component that's gone bad, obviously, but I don't know what it could be. I guess I'm not going to tackle that in this video because it'd be just too long. I don't even know what's wrong with this. I've never troubleshooted an issue like this before, but other than the machine not wanting to record properly, I honestly think that this machine plays back just fine. I mean, this is the blank tape that I put in here, but it records, I mean, it plays back just fine. So, for all intents and purposes, for anybody who has an archive of U-matic tapes, machine is perfectly fine and adequate. So, I guess I will probably tackle the, okay, that's the end of the recording, but I will probably tackle the recording issue in another video. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably fix it, and then I'll make a video showing what was wrong. Because going into this blind, like I just did with this whole video, it just proves that it's a pain. It just doesn't go right. I think almost everything went wrong in this video when I was raising that belt. But anyways, we do have a partially working machine at the end of the day. And that's all the work I'm going to do on this for now, because I waited about a week and a half for those belts to come. And, what's on the crap on the cassette carriage? I don't know what that is. Hopefully it's not bird shit. But I mean, if I put in this tape here, you know, it will play back just fine. So it's just a problem with the record circuit. I don't think it's an issue with the heads or anything like that. So I'll have to look into that and look at the schematic and block diagram and see what's wrong with it. But as you can see, perfect video, and the time-based corrector is working just fine. So I'm going to call it a day, and I'm just going to upload this video, and I'm going to say thank you for watching this video, and thank you for watching my suffering if you've made it this far. Have a great day, and subscribe if you want to see more, if you want to see a possible repair on the video record circuit. Yeah, so peace out.